The hype is real. In less
is.
than 24 hours, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul will face fists in one of the most hyped fights of the year. Not the fight of the year, though, right, Armando?
Yeah, I mean, I could go back and forth because it's definitely big, right? So they're going to fill up Cowboy Stadium. There's no
In Dallas.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, that's not a joke, right? That's a ton of money. Mike Tyson's making 20 million. Jake Paul is going to make 40 million. It's crazy, stupid money, but they're paying. There's a lot of championship. There's 3 championship fights on the card. It's a big card. So, is it going to be fight of the year? No, not even. I mean, Mike Tyson's 58 years old. There's I grew up. So I was a little kid watching Mike Tyson real time. I mean, Jake Paul, think about this. Jake Paul's 27, 28.
Yep.
He wasn't even, he was in diapers when Mike Tyson finished his career. So he never saw Mike Tyson fight.
Well, I mean, Mike Tyson's judgment has always been questioned throughout his career.
Right.
But his determination and his attitude is not in question. By the way, Armando Bareño, this is my good friend. Whenever there's a big fight coming up, we talk. He's the founder of Best in Boxing. Back to talk about this fight. We had to get you in this week because this is super important. It's super hot. All right, so let's talk about the odds. I mean, does Tyson really have a shot?
According to the bookies, no. So it's basically 2-1. So Mike Tyson has never been an underdog in any of his fights, and this is the first time. At 58, I mean, the bookies make their odds, and they do a good job at it. So they're typically not wrong. So it's a 2-1 favorite for Jake Paul because he's 27. He's a young man. He's going up against an old guy, 58. Mike still has power. Obviously, you can see it in the clips. But a lot of people, so the clips look great, but they're very short clips. So no one has seen Mike for more than a few seconds at a time. He did the workouts. So they have during fight week. One of the nights is always about the fighters getting up in front of the fans and doing the mitt work. And he didn't, to me, look that good. Like there were some balance issues there that come with age.
Okay, balance is an issue.
Right.
He did go up and slap him in the face, though.
He did at the weigh-in. He did at the weigh-in. But then again, so if the fight is legitimate, then Jake Paul needs to worry about the first 3 rounds.
Okay.
Because
is that
Mike,
the way it is with Mike?
Yeah, because Mike. Well, I mean, the only reason I say that is because the power's the last thing to go. So, if he's somewhat in shape, he's more dangerous in the beginning of the fight.
He may be lethal in the beginning.
Yeah.
Once you get to round 3.
Past that, now you're 6 minutes in. Because okay, so let's go over how this fight is breaking down. They're calling it a professional fight.
Okay.
But I don't know how you can call it professional when they're okay. So typical heavyweight wears 10-ounce gloves. They're wearing 14. Typical rounds 3 minutes. They're doing 2.
Oh.
Championship. For lower titles can be 10 rounds or 12. For the major titles, it's 12. They're doing 8.
Oh.
So obviously there's rule changes. I'm sure Mike insisted on that because at 58 years old, come on, you just can't.
Okay, but we're talking about like 60,000 people in an NFL stadium watching this. I mean, people want to be there. Why do people want to be there for this fight?
Because of Mike. It's Mike. I mean, back in the day when he fought, everything stopped. And that's just the way it was. Everyone knew Mike was fighting, and then everybody watched the fights.
For those people who don't know much about Jake Paul, what do they need to know?
Well, see, that's the thing is, okay, there's the other half of that. Jake Paul, to anyone under the age of 30, is huge. So you have under 30 that this guy has developed and built himself into a multi-millionaire, has tens of millions of views on YouTube and all these platforms. The guy he's a self-made man. So you cannot, he is an amazing businessman. You can't take that away from him. At the same time, you've got all of the 30 plus who grew up watching watching Mike. So so you've got 2 generations coming together.
It's literally like millennials against Gen Z.
Gen X, actually.
Okay. Sorry, my bad. Let me read. That's exactly right, because it's like me against millennials. Okay.
Yeah.
Gen X against millennials.
Right. Literally.
Awesome. It's on.
And so all of the Gen Xers are all about Mike, come on, knock this kid out.
Come on.
He's
well,
business aside, he's arrogant. He talks a lot of crap, and he fights nothing but old guys. Right?
no, I was saying Mike is really beloved around Las Vegas because everyone's got a Mike Tyson story.
Right.
And he raises pigeons. He loves his birds.
Right, Mike.
So he's multi-dimensional, Mike Tyson.
What's interesting is, so when I was a little kid, my mother could not stand Mike Tyson because all the out of the ring antics. I mean, Mike was. He's a street kid. He's one of those guys you call he's a savage. Like he grew up like
He's a beast.
You would not want to meet him on the street. Like when he got in that ring, he was terrifying, and that's why people love to watch it because it's like you're literally watching. Like Mike Tyson says, he's a killer. Like he's just you can see how he was back then.
Well, I mean, I have to admit, I always thought it was definitely like persona, like shoes he was stepping into on purpose. Right. I mean, he brought the story to boxing.
As he aged, you were able to see when he was doing his stage show, it was just him up there talking.
Yeah.
But and beyond that, now with podcasts and stuff, and you're able to actually listen to him talk, he's extremely intelligent. Like there's a whole nother side that we never saw when he was 19, when he was Iron Mike. I mean, he's even said, "I'm no longer Iron Mike."
People get smarter as they get older,
too. Right. And so he's found a way. I mean, you think about this guy. He literally made, close to $500 million in just in fighting, and he blew it all, like gone. And then he rebuilt himself into a multi-millionaire, and then all of a sudden here he goes. Jake Paul says, "Hey, I want to pay you $20 million to fight you."
Is this fight totally legit, or is there a chance that this is like an arrangement?
Okay, I'm just gonna say that a lot of these fights where fighters come back in the ring, there can be rehearsals. Now, I'm not saying that this is
like wrestling.
This is a show. What you're gonna watch tomorrow or tonight, this is a show.
Okay.
It is absolutely a show. I don't believe that they have not communicated about what's going to go on in that ring.
How it's going to go down.
Right. At the same time,
like there's some agreements that have been made.
Right. But I would love to be wrong, and I would love to see Mike Tyson knock Jake Paul out. And everybody, Jake Paul has found himself. He does have a big fan base, just like a Mayweather did. But what everyone wants to see him get knocked out. Everybody wants to see him lose. He plays the bad guy role, and there's a lot of money in playing
the villain.
Yeah, there's a lot of money in playing the villain.
And what role does Jake Paul play?
No. I'm talking about Jake Paul plays the villain.
Oh, okay.
Right. No, that's how he gets out there and talks garbage nonstop to build his fights.
I was fully just following that storyline with Tyson too, because I mean he's always played the bad guy too.
And during the press conference, you're seeing flashes.
Yeah.
This week you're seeing flashes of the old, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, is he acting? Because back then he wasn't. I don't think he was. I mean, he was just this testosterone-filled guy that was taught to just take guys' heads off, and I don't know. I don't think he was faking back then, but there may be a little.
What do you think of the format being on Netflix?
This, for me, personally, is massive because I have, for a long time, so when HBO and Showtime went away, there's a gap in the market. And there was a lot of mid-level boxing promoters that fell to the wayside.
Oh, no.
But with Amazon and Netflix getting into the game. No, if Netflix gets, because Netflix has been looking for sports content. They've been slowly doing, I think this would be their fourth or fifth live. So they're slowly getting into it. If this is successful and then they are able to see the potential for more boxers to get into Netflix and actually have fights, that could, I mean, Netflix has ungodly amounts of money. So for the proliferation of this, proliferation of the sport, this is something that would be massive for anyone who loves boxing.
Well, you got to be a subscriber, so it'll be interesting to hear afterwards their numbers of how many people will subscribe just to tune into this fight, or whether they'll just wait and watch clips later on YouTube. But thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Did you bet on this fight?
I'm actually tomorrow going to go bet but I always do my bets on rounds because
Yes.
the odds are. I mean, it's 2-1, so it's not that bad.
Come on, give me your bet.
I'm picking Mike in the first and second round to knock him out.
Okay.
Jake, I think it'll go the distance.
Yeah.
You know, so if I was to put money down, big money, I would just put Jake to go the distance. But for the prop bets, I would pick Mike in the first and second to knock him out. So.
All right, you heard it. Thanks for joining us. All right, awesome.